So you know every build starts with a dream? Well, mine started with a puddle. That's a problem. So before this dream build could even begin, the G decided to throw a tantrum. Yeah, so the radiator busted, created a nice puddle of radiator fluid. So that's going to give us an excuse to upgrade to a better radiator. And this is what this video will be on, replacing the radiator in my G37. Let's go. This is my CSF radiator from Z1 Motorsports. Lightweight with substantially better coolant. I picked up some Z1 silicone hoses to finish off the look. It's one of those upgrades that doesn't just fix the problem, it future-proofs the car for what's coming. Let's get this baby installed. Alright, so let's get this old radiator out of the car. But before we did that, I already drained the fluid, which is down at the bottom with a Phillips head screwdriver. Just removed the plug there. And I also took it to my boys at F2 Motorworks to remove the refrigerant. Now, the new radiator comes with a condenser built into it, so therefore you gotta get rid of all your AC refrigerant, and to put that into the ozone is a big no-no. So to keep my conscience clean, brought it to them, they took it out, and we'll put it back in once this build is done. So the first thing we're gonna do is take off this plastic shroud and get into the components. Let's go. So the first thing we want to do here is remove this plastic cover to access all the radiator bolts. To do that, you gotta use your 10mm wrench, take off all the bolts on top, make sure you have your handy cup so you can put all your bolts in there and you don't lose anything. Next, we're gonna move to the front of the plastic piece to remove all the clips. Make sure you're not too rough with those and break them. Once you get that done, you can remove the cables underneath that plastic cover that hold the hood down and break it like I do and take it off. Yay! We're gonna move on to the front bar. We're gonna release the bolts on that along with some additional wiring and take that out to loosen up the radiator. Next, we're gonna take out the cooling pack. There's some bolts behind there, tubing holders along with some additional wiring. You can see here, this is going to slide out and give you more room to get that radiator out. And there it is, me proud with some spinny fans. All right, guys. Let's take an update of where we are. So I got some AC lines that I need to remove here. There's going to be a couple bolts at the bottom, but you see we got all the hoses taken care of, and this radiator is just about to get out of here. So pretty exciting. And as you can see here, we got lots of stuff outside the car. Crazy. All right, let's get back to work. Now we're ready to remove the radiator. Here we go. Okay. Let's give it one more try. Nope. This time it's going to be the magic. Here we go. Okay. Last time's the charm. And she is out. Now, time to get the new one in. Hey, welcome to day 2. Yes, day 2. Things did not go perfect. We got the radiator out and trying to get it back in. I'll show you kind of what's going on. All right, so if you look here, you can see that we got these AC lines since the condenser's built into this beautiful new radiator. There's a little bit different lines. If you look into the car, you may or may not be able to see that there are 2 metal lines right there. Those need to be disconnected here, in there, somewhere. And those need a special tool like this, which, thank you for Amazon, they figured it out. Appreciate it. So with the new tools, let's try to get these lines disconnected and drop in this new one. Let's see how it goes. Love it. Like I said, not a lot of experience, and it's proving true. And now, gonna tackle the AC lines, which proved to be a little more challenging than expected, even with the special tool. But as you can see here, I was a little more than excited to get it done. And after a couple of attempts, I could not get the radiator to fit. Not good, and another problem. Problem that would require me taking off the front bumper. Let's get to it. So I bolted a couple bolts from the bottom, remove the under tray, and everything just pops out accordingly. Pretty soon, we got a job done on that. Yeah, got no front bumper. Yay, now it's the G37. Front bumper is gone, and now it's finally time to install the new radiator. So here's me fitting the radiator in place. Then after we get that in place, we're going to be pushing in the AC lines. After that, putting in the coolant hose from the radiator to the engine. All right, ladies and gents, we got the new radiator installed. So I gotta take out the front bumper, so she is a little naked, but look at that beauty. Slides in perfectly. That's what she said. It looks great. So, last thing we need to do is get the rest of this Z1 silicone tubing in, get the fans back in, and call this job complete. And I'm reinstalling the fan pack that slides right in. Then you have some electrical connections along with some tubing that's lined along the back of that pack. So here I am installing the upper hose to the radiator, getting that fitted and clamped in. After I do that, I'll be concentrating on the reservoir, getting those hoses routed correctly and in place. Now with that done, switch to the front metal bar, which is 2 bolts up top and 1 on the bottom, and that will secure it tightly into place. Once that's complete, go ahead and start on the air intakes that I took out, and here comes the second one going into place, fitting snugly. Now that everything's in place and installed, it's time to add the coolant, check for leaks, and then burp the system. Everything's installed, and now I'm going to start the car. We're going to put the heat all the way up, go back to the front of the car, and watch the air escape. Fill it with radiator fluid as needed. Hopefully everything goes well. Here we go. Turn the heat all the way up. All right, now remember, when you're doing this, make sure you get all the air bubbles out. Take your time, do it right. And that is the sound of success. Yes, sir. Very happy. All right, so as we wait for that coolant to finish up, the engine cover, no bueno. I'm gonna look at making this in carbon fiber with my own emblem and my own plate to show that this was made by Charlie Warren. So, not all bad. I'm not going to put this back on because I am going to make a mold of it and make some carbon fiber. It's going to be fantastic. And maybe once I'll sell it to you guys if you want. All right, so seems to be running well. All fluid has burped out. That is job complete. Now, finally, on to 3D scanning. Finally. Let's hope no more disasters. 2 fingers in the air, spur bar. Peace.